We are officially in tax season, which means that you can start filling out your returns right now. So the big headline has been that people may be getting a bigger return this year because of some changes. Joining me now is Jeff Sachs from Sachs Financial with tax moves to make this month. Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. The new studio is great.
I was going to say, welcome to the new studio. Yeah. Okay, this is your first time in.
It is.
So what do you think?
It has that new studio smell.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being here. Let's talk about the one big beautiful bill. What changed?
Yep.
And what benefits help taxpayers this year?
So there's a couple things that changed. We talked about a few of these in December last year. The biggest change is that our tax brackets have been locked in. So we know where they're going to be for the foreseeable future. That's a great thing, gives us some stability. Okay. It also increased the tax brackets to keep up with inflation and people getting raises so that you're not getting bumped up into a higher tax bracket. But the big changes are they added some more deductions. So if you are somebody that works primarily gets a lot of income through tips, you can now deduct that as an additional deduction, $12,000 to $25,000, depending on how you file. And if you have overtime, you can deduct some of that as well. There's a third one, and this is specifically for folks that are over the age of 65.
Okay.
And adds an additional tax deduction. Single filers of $6,000, married filing jointly is $12,000 on top of the standard deduction. So if you're over the age of 65, your standard deduction is pretty high, almost $40,000 of your income just off the top.
Oh, wow. Okay. What are some moves, though, that people need to do now before we get to that April deadline if they want to maybe lower their tax bill, reduce their taxes? What do you think?
Well, the first thing I would tell you is don't procrastinate.
Okay.
I actually was looking up some numbers and I thought, gosh, there must be a ton of us that wait until April 15th to file. I just remember like as a kid getting in the station wagon and rushing off to like the post office, and dropping it in there. So it turns out that only about 25% of people wait till April to file their taxes. So I would tell you, prepare now.
Okay.
The IRS recommends that you take your statements, you're getting your 1099s, your W-2s, your forms from the banks and your investments. Get all of that together so that you're ready to file to take it to the person that does your taxes or if you do it yourself.
Okay.
And that's the first thing that I would do. And I wouldn't procrastinate.
Okay, so when do you get your taxes done? Just curious.
As soon as possible.
Really?
Not soon enough.
Okay.
I like to get them done probably in March. We have sometimes some investments take an extra month or so to do some reconciliation before they get their final their tax forms out to us.
What about some folks, and not to put you on the spot, but some folks might not get their, if they do like 1099 work or something, they won't get their tax returns until way late, it seems like. Or if you get an extra one where you're like, oh, I already filed my taxes, what do I do?
Well, so first thing I would tell you is that if you are going to take a file late, and not get your returns in, make sure that if you owe any money that you do make a tentative payment to avoid any taxes or penalties. Okay. It's okay to file an extension as long as you get that paperwork in. You can get a 6-month extension to give you that time. And a lot of people do that, and there's no negative for having that extension. Just make sure that if you owe any money, that you get that some sort of payment in.
Okay. Any practical steps that we can avoid, to avoid headaches down the road?
There's a couple of things. I mean, I would definitely look at what your deductions, what your withholding is from your paycheck. I think that's a great thing to do right now as you're looking at your income for tax purposes. If it turns out that you owe a lot of money because you didn't take enough deductions, now's a great time to make that change for this year for next year's filing. So
we can make the withholding changes now?
You can, absolutely. And another thing to note, the state of Missouri has been lowering the state tax for a while. It was at 5%, so in our office we have a lot of clients that started taking 5% out. This year, it's down to a flat 4%. Okay. So if you haven't changed that deduction, you should.
Okay, gotcha. Anything else that we should know, maybe with retirees, seniors, deadlines?
The biggest deadline, tax filing season opened on the 26th of January. You got to get it in by the 15th or file an extension. And things that I would talk to folks that are closer to retirement about is some additional tax planning, is looking at what contributions you're making, how much you have in your IRA, how much required minimum distributions you might have to take out in the future.
Okay, but overall, you think these changes are positive?
I do.
Net positive for
I do.
everybody.
I think it's a positive because it makes filing easier. One last thing that I forgot to mention. If you have the ability, make an IRA contribution. It helps reduce your taxes. This year, if you're over the age of 50, you can do an $8,000 tax contribution to your IRA, which could, if you're in, let's say, the 12% tax bracket, it could lower your taxes by almost $1,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's some money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. But in general, going back, you think that overall, the changes are positive.
I do.
For
I
most
think
people.
it's great to know that we have stability in our tax code. I think it's great that the standard deduction is so high. It makes it easier for you to file your taxes so that you don't have to track the receipts and write down all your deductions because that number is so large. I think it makes it easier for people to file.
Okay, great. And if people want more information, they can find you at sachsfinancial.com. Where else?
And retiresafestl.com.
Okay. Jeff, thank you so much. We'll have you back in a couple weeks.
Sounds great.
Okay, now let's get on over to Gary.